an opener kind of thing.
Could be.
I don't know. I mean,
I'll have to look.
I'm trying to look. There's some of these series. Like, imagine that you are this like A's Rays series that's going on right now. Like, by the way, like, shout out for another bet, one of our bets that we were really excited about that voided today.
Oh shit! I was gonna wait to bring that up, but
oh,
yeah.
You were? All right.
The mechanic, Shane McClanahan. Thank you for getting shut down for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's another. It's another bit of money back in our pocket. You're watching. You just tuned in. You're watching Dad's Bet Baseball. I am Adam Rosenberg. At Hey Rosenberg. With me as always is CJ Buskey, aka Slippin' Jimmy. At Dad's That Bet. CJ, we were just talking about this, but we're in wind down season, as we talked about, and for some pitchers, as we talked about. And
sad.
The Shane one was great because they were like, "Oh, he's coming back. Oh, he's coming back. He's coming back." And then they're like, and then they quietly.
It's just a minor nerve injury. Minor nerve injury that
shut him down for the entire year. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna go right back to that bet next. I'm gonna go right back to that. Someone leaked something clearly to the chat. I am gonna go right back to that bet next year. I can tell you right now, the first bet I am making next year is Shane McClanahan wins leader and
Jared Jones strikeout leader
and Jared Jones K leader. All right. So with that, first of all, want to thank our sponsor, Hall of Fame Bets. You can see their QR code right here if you are watching. Boop, boop, boop. Use code DADS. We love Hall of Fame Bets. We use it for all different markets. We're going to be using it again for football season as well. And we actually are going to now show you a little bit of how you can find a fun money line dog when we're using it. So CJ, you're driving. And for those who are listening to this and not watching, again, we apologize. We will describe this. We'll try to ASMR the whole thing. Click, click, click. But
trust me, the quality of this is going to be better than the last 40 minutes of the last podcast that we just did. Shout out though, by the way, to you, Dean, for our dark segment. We love you. That was
epic,
great.
Epic tech.
Got to have him back on again for that one. So yeah, man. So I'm kind of trying to look at the slate for tomorrow. Wanted to see if I could find a cheap money line that I want to play. So the way that I personally do this is I go to Handigraphs first. So Handigraphs, quick shout out to that. That is our site that you can basically get all the best analytics on baseball, all the splits, everything. You're going to see that here in just a second if you're on the live stream. But make sure
it helps to answer the why.
Yep, it helps. If you have a projection, great. Use Handigraphs to validate that. Just go and answer the why with Handigraphs. HD Dads, by the way, is the code you want for that. Okay, so I'm on Handigraphs. The thing that I want to look for here is I'm going to go to, I like using last 5. Last 3 also works for this, but I like last 5. I get a pretty decent sample size for a lot of guys here.
I've noticed, by the way, not to cut you off, but I've noticed that if I start with last 5 and then filter down to last 3 from there, it's a lot more fun on my pitches.
Yeah, okay.
I get like a bigger pool.
A rare occurrence where Adam and I have the same process. It doesn't happen that often.
It doesn't happen very often. No. Like last time when we did this and you were like, holy crap, you do this entirely backwards from me.
Yeah, literally we did a live lab of this for our Discord users. And Adam did one way. I was like, okay, well, let me show you how I do it. And it is exactly the opposite of what Adam does. But you know what? We both make money here. So, all right. So I'm going to go for a filter here that I like. So one of the things with I'm looking for pitchers that have been struggling is a K- BB, and which guys in particular are going to have really low K- BB for their last couple of starts. It just tells me that you probably don't have good command as is. Now there's some guys, by the way, like that just in general have pretty low K- BB because they just don't strike out anybody. But I'm looking for guys that I might normally associate with having a higher strikeout rate, and recently they've been pretty bad at that. So next thing I'm going to do is I look and I see, okay, so I'm going to
By
sort
the way,
this
can you tell everybody at home what K minus BB is?
Sure. Yeah. So good call out there. So all K minus BB is take the strikeout rate for a pitcher and then minus the walk rate for that pitcher, K minus BB. So if you have a, say, 25% strikeout rate, you've got a 7% walk rate, you have a K minus BB of 18. In general, I like to use 20% as sort of, if somebody is over that, those are guys you want to target in terms of backing. If pitchers have a K minus BB lower than 10 to 12%, those are guys that you probably want to fade. So again, you can kind of play around with that. I think 20% is kind of a good benchmark for that one. So now I'm kind of trying to see, all right, are there any of these teams that I would expect to be favored? And we're going to go to Hall of Fame bets here to confirm this in a second. But which are the guys that have been struggling on a team that I would think is likely favored in this game? And to me, there's two that immediately stick out. Actually, maybe three, which is Liberator, Cortez, and Clay Holmes. Now, Cortez has barely pitched, and he's also on a different team. Not going to really trust the last five so much with that one there. And so then I'm forced to kind of decide between Liberator and Clay Holmes. Might be a common theme with this podcast, Adam, because I think I'm going to be fading the Mets. So let's go look at what that money line is here for tomorrow. So I'm going to go back into Hall of Fame bets. And sure enough, you've got a plus 115 on the Atlanta Braves. Okay. So again, I'm not saying that this is one that I want to go bet just yet. It's just, all right, that's a pitcher that's been struggling. I know that has also, from Clay Holmes' perspective, a guy that probably should be shut down for a little bit, given that he has never pitched this many innings in an entire season. It's his first season starting, converted as a reliever. So that also makes sense that his K minus BB has consistently gone down. And if you go and you kind of look at the pitcher ratings here, I'm looking at like last 10. I want to see, are we seeing any sort of decrease in some, good metrics for Holmes, as well as some increase in some bad ones. So you got 2.6 earned runs, 48th percentile. Yep, you can see a little bit of a tick there from last 10. Outs per game, those are down. Ks per game, about the same. But yeah, he's obviously been struggling. Whereas Strider, you can see about 7.4 per game, 2.2 earned runs. His actually has gone up a little bit. He's been giving up home runs, but he is getting more outs. And also I would think, is probably getting in a little bit better form. The other thing that I'll check here is just, again, quick glance. You look at their last 10. Atlanta's actually hitting okay right now. For a team that has largely given up on the season, they are hitting fairly well. And then the only other thing I want to check here,
I think they get Acuna back in this series too.
I think they do too. And also the Braves, I believe I think they're like 4-2 or 6-2 against the Mets so far this season. So they've matched up pretty well against them. So the only other thing I'm going to do is I'll go back to handy graphs real quick. And I just want to see, what has this team been doing against right-handed pitching? So bottom of the lineup, pretty ugly, but man, top five guys for the Braves are hitting quite well. And you said that Acuna might be back for this. I don't see him in the projected lineup yet.
Not tomorrow, but I'm talking about during this series.
Okay. Yeah. So, but at least like your guys in the top five of this lineup are all hitting quite well. And the other thing that I want to check too is
you've got all lefties. It's three straight lefties.
That's what I was going to say. Well, you've got three, and you've got four lefties out of the first five. So then if I go back to Holmes, again, on handy graphs, you have that nice little feature there, right? You can just click opponent and boom, goes straight there. But if I go to last 60, actually, Holmes has been pretty good against lefties, it looks like, for the most part. So that might be the only thing that I guess is giving me a little cause for concern there. And then I'll just quickly check from so let me go back here real quick. So if we go to the Braves, just so I can get a quick check on Strider. And again, you can do this all within like 3 to 4 minutes, right? Like, so we go to Strider, we're going to go with the Mets. Again, last 30 Mets. Besides Mullins and Mauricio, everybody has been, I guess Alonso has been hitting the ball pretty well.
Alonso's been pretty good.
A lot of blue, though, other than Soto and Alonso. And Soto, by the way, has been awful with guys in scoring position. So that 886, honestly, is even probably a little bit of a misnomer. Either way, man, I don't hate this. I might want to try, by the way, to get a better line if I can on plus 115. I'd be kind of also interested in playing a run line.
So
here.
hold on, just to back up and just to bring it all together. You were targeting dudes. You were targeting dudes that were going to be like probably dogs when you were looking at the handicap stuff, and then you were bringing it over to
yes,
Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Basically, like to kind of recap everything that I just went through.
Yeah. Just want to make sure everybody follows how we get to the dog because I
get you can do the opposite flow where you want to actually you think a favorite should be a larger favorite. I think you can create filters in that for whatnot on handigraphs. Kind of just do the opposite in terms of K minus BB. Like you might be able to do that, especially if there's two teams that are, decent teams playing each other. But in this case, I'm just trying to figure out who do I think is going to likely be a money line dog who, from a splits perspective and matchup perspective, within 90 seconds, I can quickly tell that they probably shouldn't be that long of odds to win the game, essentially. So there might be other stuff that you can play with that too, right? Like, obviously, the first five for Atlanta team total over could be a play. There's a couple other things you could do there, but that's in general, man. What I would try and do using Hall of Fame bets here is to quickly kind of identify the money line and the dog, look at the pitcher ratings, and then look at the batter form and a couple other things I can validate on handigraphs. I don't know, Adam, if there's anything you do differently, which probably 90% of it is, but
no, I think that's great. I'm like, because I'm learning on it. I guess my question, because I don't mess with K minus BB that much. So you're using K minus BB to you is a metric. So like, for example, I have a filter up right now, and Jack Leiter is in there for tomorrow in part of this filter, and this is a filter based on guys that sneaky pitcher and game unders because they're performing pretty well. The K minus BB on Jack Leiter is bad. It's blue. It's 10%. So I should interpret that as they're probably going to be, actually, I don't even know who they're against. They're against Arizona. They'll be favorites. So, and they're at home. But you're looking for guys that have bad K minus BB and are going to be, and are going against it that will probably be slight favorites. Is that basically what you're saying?
Yes. That's sort of the initial. Yeah. And I mean, again, some of this is also just watching the games and knowing the types of pitchers. Cause I mentioned at the beginning, right? Like Quintana, that's a guy that's always just going to have a lower K minus BB because he just doesn't strike out a lot of guys.
Yes.
Whereas Clay Holmes, earlier this season, he was touching north of 24-25% on the K rate. It's obviously from the season wise, like gone down. It's 18.6. But like if you look, last five, like 14.9%, even on the season, that's still a 4+% drop in K rate in just his last five starts. That to me just tells me that they're either tired, they could be hurt, or something's just kind of not working in terms of their pitch mix and their selection. So it's just kind of a quick, easy signal for me. You could and I'm sure you probably use in this instance, like you might just use like ERA and expected ERA because you could just see.
I'm using I'm using hard hit rate and barrel rate a lot more now. And I'm using walk rate. I should start using K minus BB more. I heavily weight a lot of expected ERA to find value. When there's a discrepancy from regular ERA.
Sure.
And then whip. I'm basically my filters are set up so that are you allowing a lot of base runners or are you not allowing a lot of base runners as like the core hypothesis, and then moving it from there to, well, if base runners are on, that's threats, that's runs, that's this. If base runners are not on, then there you go. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I like it. I mean, this is what we do all this. So by the way, that's the last time I'm going to check out the private chat because of the other thing. But I did see what you're saying. So all right, Anyway, we got again, Hall of Fame Bets, HOFapp.com. Use code DADS. We're gonna so wait, now do we want to talk? Oh, we're gonna do real quick. Here's what we're gonna do. In about 10 minutes, we have Trevor Jones on. And Trevor is like a little brother to me, but I've trashed him on this show multiple times. I've trashed him on the internet for the last couple of weeks. He has some takes on the on my least favorite winning team right now, the Milwaukee Brewers. I would love everyone to listen to them. CJ is going to moderate it. I will behave. But anyway, we're going to do that. Let's do this though exercise real quick. I want to talk about NL playoffs, and I want to start right now. We made a bet a couple weeks ago on your team at 7-1, the Mets to be the 6th seed, which now, by the way, is plus 145, but not for the right reasons.
They should be 7-1 to make the playoffs. That actually should be the line.
I guess my question is, putting all your biases, actually pour the biases on. You're a fan. Who should be the 6th seed in the NL?
I think right now the Reds should be the 6th seed. And okay. I know that we are a very pro Reds show.
We are.
We've liked this team since the preseason, and right now, their projected standings rest of the way is actually, I think that's actually has them 2 games under 500 rest of the way, which would mean they're going to be 82 and 80. You're not making it if you're 82 and 80, but these are just projections.
It's very Reds.
I think the Reds, they should be the 6th seed. And we got the news today that bad news for our Rookie of the Year bets.
Actually,
completely
ties into a conversation later.
Chase Burns with his, I'm gonna save that for later. But Chase Burns getting an innings limit. However, that was accompanied by good news in that Hunter Green is coming back. And if we can get earlier season Hunter Green along with Abbott, and you get a few starts here from Burns, we love the Littell trade. We like the Brian Hayes trade. This team should be able to get the 6th seed with the Mets falling apart the way they are. I can't see anybody else taking that unless you can.
So I'm gonna just.
There's no other team in the NL that I'm like.
Do you think the Mets are gonna fall out? Really?
I think they got to show me something at this point to buy back in, because you've got 2 different. Here's the problem with the Mets. It's the lineup has been atrocious. Lindor's been batting. I think he's been batting like 200 or less for almost 3 months now. Alonso was one of the worst first basemen in all of baseball in July. That being said, there's some stuff that I still think the lineup can kind of turn this thing around, and there's some positive regression coming with them. So I do think they'll score more runs. The biggest problem with the Mets is that we just went over this in the money line pick, that Holmes is not the same guy that they had at the beginning of the season, and I don't even know if he's going to make it till the end of the season. And Montas is unstartable. So you're down to 3 starters in Senga, who has not been the same guy since his injury back in June. Minaya, who's been up and down. I think he'll probably be okay. And then you've got Peterson, but Peterson's also throwing a lot of innings. So who are the Mets going to be able to consistently roll out in a 4 and 5 slot? You're not going to be able to put that much pressure on the bullpen rest of the way. And also the bullpen threw a lot of innings in April and May. And then Canning went down, and that actually was kind of killer for them. And we called it out on this podcast, but I don't know where the Mets kind of get the pitching down the stretch. And their schedule, man, is pretty brutal in who they have to play. So as of August 11th, I don't think the Mets are in, but there is enough time for them to kind of correct this.
Okay. I want to be conscious of time, so I'll do it real quick, because I talked about this on SGPN this morning. But here's the thing that to keep in mind with this Mets team. It's not that this Mets team isn't good. I will completely admit that they don't have a vibe right now. Like last year, you had Iglesias, you had a vibe. Okay, OMG. The entire episode of this. We did an entire episode of this with Doug. I completely agree. That team had a vibe. That team was a wagon. Like, the problem is this year is that you've had multiple 1-9 stretches. And while you had those 1-9 stretches, teams in front, teams behind you had 8-2 stretches. This is the same situation like that's kind of going on in the AL. Like people are like, oh, the Guardians are going to take a playoff spot. The Guardians actually aren't going to take a playoff spot. What it just happens to be that I always say this: you can make up wins. You can make up wins. You cannot make up losses unless two things happen at the same time: a win and a loss. And so what happened is you had maximum casualties because you had New York Yankees going on a 2-8 stretch while the Guardians went 8-2, and then you had the Mets going 1-9 while the Padres went 8-2. The thing about the Reds, the Padres did, but wait, here's my point. The Reds are still 5-5, and all three of these teams have the same run differential within that grouping, which makes me, it's a cop out, but this is the final weekend is when we're figuring out who the 6th seed is, man. And I guess if I like the bet to make, I told you this earlier, it's not a popular bet, but if you're going to make a bet right now on any of these teams, the bet's actually Mets to win the World Series because your odds on it are way better than they were at the beginning of the season. I can't make that bet, and I understand that you can't either, but that is how you would want to play it. So anyway,
I mean, I compare this kind of bet to when we get into football season and I'm saying I have to bet a spread, and I only bet on spreads for teams that I actually think have a legitimate chance to win the game if I'm going to bet the underdog on the spread. And while I agree with you on the price and that like 30% of an adjustment's probably too big of an adjustment given the payroll and the expectations for the team coming in, and they're still 8 games above 500. It's not like they're like an under 500 team yet, but I got to believe that they actually can win that bet, even if it's like a 2% chance. And maybe it's just me being a Mets fan and just being an eternal pessimist, but I just don't see it with the roster that they have. But 16-1 is pretty good value.
Let's talk like a real quick Phillies thing, like the 2-minute things that you want to talk about on this. I also want to say to people, breaking news that the Tigers allowed Chris Paddock to go 7 innings. Sure. That's not what I would do. And it's now burned to me twice as a bet, but whatever. And then let's bring in Trevor. Okay. You had a question for me.
I did. Well, I wanted to get to this. I wasn't sure if Trevor was going to start banging on your door yet, but
no. He's coming in.
We'll jump into this next real quick, which is, so we can both agree NL East probably over. I think it's I'm
one more series. One more. They got a series together. They're only 4. They got a 4-game series. I'm just saying.
For all intents, I'm not reverse jinxing you at all. By the way, I'm just
no.
saying,
I know you're not. I'm just talking about the math. It's yeah.
All right. With that assumption, Phillies winning the NL East. What does that mean for their likely round 1 matchup? Who are we expecting a Phillies round 1 matchup, assuming that they win the East? And is there anything to bet because of that?
I'll give Trevor a little bit of flowers on this one. Assuming that the Brewers are not going to be caught as a 1 or 2. I'm assuming that they're really not. But there's some things I don't like about the team. It's going to be the Dodgers because the Dodgers will play a first-round game. The Phillies will get a bye. The Dodgers would play the Mets or the Six or the Reds. So I'm hoping it's the Dodgers. I don't want to play a Mets team that finds its mojo, beats the Dodgers in the wild card round, because that's the team that beats the Dodgers in the wild card round.
That is a nightmare for you.
That's a nightmare scenario for anybody. So also going to be insane value on betting them game to game. But yeah, I think it's the Dodgers. I was looking through. I mean, the Reds lines haven't moved, and I still think that the Reds kind of do anything might sneak in here, but it's just sort of like they're a middling team. So, but the Phillies opponent is they have to wait a weekend. And again, I said this earlier, but this team that tonight, the win that they had, they would never have won a year ago. They have a lot of juice with the Duran.
Last thing before we bring in Trevor, who's favored in that series? Is it the Phillies or is it the Dodgers? Even with Phillies at home.
So for the Dodgers to have this have happened, they would have slipped so badly. Honestly,
I mean, they're close, aren't they? What's the
you can't make Dodgers. It's probably Dodgers minus 105, Phillies plus 110. You can't make the Dodgers.
I think Dodgers are very small
you
favorites.
Can't make the Dodgers a dog. You can't make Shohei Ohtani a dog. You can't.
I agree.
You can't. So you can do that to the Phillies. I mean, the respect that Taijuan Walker got to. Taijuan Walker was a plus.
I think Phillies are favored in every single series, including against the Cubs and, spoiler alert, including against the Brewers. But I think the Dodgers are the one team that they're not the favorite against.
Bring in Trevor. Let's talk about this. Let's do this. Where is he? From our first show to our 32nd
Welcome back, Trevor.
Well, Trevor, first of all, how's it feel that, we're not on your credit card anymore? We got our own account and everything like that after you got it set up. You feel happy that your kids ran off and finally did their own thing?
Yeah, and I'm empty nester here. It's just me, myself, and I here at the home base. But no, it's good. You guys are growing. It's pretty sick to see.
All right. So you and I have had a good back and forth, and I'm going to be calm about it. I don't like your team. I don't like a lot of your players. No one does. Now tell me and everyone else, why is Isaac Collins the NL Rookie of the Year?
I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, this guy is beyond clutch. I mean, Edwin Diaz took his ass deep yesterday, walk off for a second one. He's stealing bags. He's ripping extra base hits. He's hitting guys in. He's got great fielding. I mean, he's the whole package. Drake Baldwin's going to win for a middling and underachieving.
I agree with
Braves
you, Drake
team.
Baldwin. I agree on that one. Drake Baldwin, a team that's 20 games under 500 does not deserve to win Rookie of the Year. Like what they're saying, like he managed the pitching staff so well. What pitching staff? They brought in Eric
They've been awful.
Like, they've been terrible. Yeah, no, I agree with you on. So,
yeah. And Agustin Ramirez, I mean, he had a good little spurt, but I mean, that team's not doing anything. It's between him and Mezerowski. I got tickets on both, but I'm fully invested into this Isaac Collins ticket now. I want that to win more than my 25-1 ticket on Mezerowski at this point.
I feel like Trevor, you're you were dating a pair of identical twins, and Miz was the first twin that you got the number from, and you're like, this girl's so hot. And then you met Isaac Collins, and you threw the other twin away when she had to go to the hospital for a week, and you forgot how hot the first one was.
So dark. That just got so dark.
Personal experience, it sounds like.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've got tickets on. I think one way or another, one of them wins the NL Rookie. I mean, I don't know who else is going to pop up at this point and compete. I mean, if Nick Kurtz is in the NL, then I guess this is an entirely different story. He's probably got this locked up still, but I mean, it's Mizorowski or Collins, and Collins has been incredibly clutch. His WAR. I know he had an error tonight, big deal. Just felt bad for the Pirates who were going to beat their ass so bad. He spotted them a little something, but I mean, he's been damn good. I mean, he's got like 14 stolen bases, 8 or 9 home runs now. I know that home runs aren't popping, but he's I got this right here. Where is it? Yeah, his on base is at 392 and 828 OPS. His batting average is sitting around 300. Multiple stolen bases, home runs, clutch. He's won multiple games on his own. He's been the whole package. I love this kid. Like just another nobody. Shout out the Rockies for just giving him to us.
I'll give this. He's having Jackson Merrill moments like he had like last summer. Remember when we turned around every 5 seconds, Jackson Merrill was winning the thing. And then all my hopes and dreams were crushed because Paul Skeens exists. Like, I don't have a problem. I think my biggest issue with Isaac Collins, besides the fact that, as I like to say, he would have the lowest amount of hits projected since Yordan Alvarez, who of his 100 hits that he had the year that he won Rookie of the Year, 27 were home runs. He doesn't have those counting metrics. It doesn't have the lowest amount of home runs since Chris Coughlin, who had 162 hits. I think the biggest thing standing in the way of this Isaac Collins stuff is that if Miz comes back, that entire thing craters because he's got just the gravitas of like everything that he's done kills it. But I agree with you that Drake Baldwin, I don't understand why. I mean, I have a 55-1 Drake Baldwin. I think you have a Drake Baldwin. We all do. I can't imagine. I do not get what he deserves to be Rookie of the Year.
I mean, good point, by the way, for the listeners. We've talked about Rookie of the Year before. The most drunk awards market of any awards market in baseball is easily Rookie of the Year. And Nick Kurtz, by the way, before the 4 home run game, was, I believe he was like he was still pretty big favorite. He was like minus like 800 or something. Went immediately to like minus 3,000 after a 4 home run game. Like, don't be wrong. Impressive.
Which, by the way, he's had 2 strikeouts a game for 10 out of the last 12 games since, just so everybody knows.
Exactly. So these kind of things, I mean, even Skeens last year, I think, was like crazy, like minus like 1,500 or something. Yes, he did win, but not to rub that.
No, that's the thing. Skeens that was the difference, is that Skeens, it was like a battle because I had convinced myself that like, it's going to be Merrill. Look at like Merrill took over a team June 1st when Tatis went out. I convinced him of all that. And this Brewers team just bothers me because they just won't go away. And this bet won't go away. And I can't believe I'm rooting for Miz, and I don't like Miz. And I'm just like, come back, please. So.
Trevor, can you?
I don't know what's going on with them.
Can you tell us why you're just not the Guardians of the NL?
Ooh, that's loaded.
We have like an incredibly low payroll. But I mean, like year in and year out, we just find ways to get it done with crappy players. I know, like the last probably like I don't know a decade ago, we were god awful, but this new ownership came in and they just find ways to win. They got in the right people in the front office, the right managers. Even though Craig Counsell's a B word. He found ways to get it done. But Pat Murphy, I mean, he was a college coach and he connects with these guys really well, and it's really clicked. Yelich has been a great leader since he's popped up too. I mean, they're like Moneyball. They're modern day Moneyball, and it works. And I'm so unbelievably bought in. I've convinced myself of euchre magic and everything.
You guys have tragic magic. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Bob Euchre.
Makes me hate you a little less.
You can't hate Bob. You can't hate Bob.
He's
another tie to the Indians. Another tie to the Indians.
He's also a soundbite for this podcast as well too. So
great, Harry Doyle. Yeah.
Well, like the thing is, so I'm not going to take any of the credit for the research that was done on this. It was a post 2 days ago on Reddit. But the big thing that everyone's like, it was literally subject heading, how to understand why are the Brewers still winning. And the something that came up in it is that they're overperforming specifically in ground ball base hits, which is more luck than BABIP. So they lead the league effectively in soft contact, and their 0-2 pitches, which should be putouts, they're winning more 0-2 than anyone. They're batting like 188 and 0-2 counts, which to anybody else doesn't seem big. It's third in the league, and that's incredible. Like you should be out when the count is 0-2. And they're not. And there was a big discussion about basically what this team is doing is that like they're playing the ultimate version of small ball, and a guy chimes in, and I was going to put it up and show you, but a guy chimes in and he says, Guardians fan here, this version of baseball does not work in the playoffs because you end up going against swing and miss guys, which I do agree with. So what do you think about this Brewers team in the playoffs when they start going against guys who are throwing when Wheeler's throwing 97 at them, or Nola comes back for his 2 innings and throws 96? Like what's going to happen then for your soft contact team?
I want to say that, it's not going to pan out, right? But it's been working all year. Why is it going to stop now? They find a way to get done. Not to mention everybody on this team is incredibly fast, minus Andrew Vaughn.
That's the reason why they're breeding out so many ground balls, is because everybody's fast. Yeah.
They're fast as shit. Like all of them are. And it's great. I mean, obviously it's going to struggle a little bit, but this team, like we can go 4 or 5 innings and not score a run, and all of a sudden put up 4 or 5 runs in 1 inning. It's happened 40 times this year. That's just what they do. They don't stop. They keep going. And we don't have incredible like power on this team. I mean, you got Yelich. Apparently, Andrew Vaughn is Andrew Bonds at this point.
Vaughn,
and then
Andrew Vaughn, God, is like part of.
I love this guy. I was so mad when we got him. I was like, whatever, it's just Savali. And then he's like, he's literally Barry Bonds. Like, I love this guy.
Yeah. He's been awesome.
He's been Reese Hoskins
from August of 17. It's great.
Yeah.
So
yeah. He's won us like 3 or 4 games alone too. Like the Dodgers series, I'm pretty sure he won 2 games by himself. Just by being clutch, and it makes no sense, but I love it. Like the power of friendship, that's the motto of this team.
Is that really a motto? Because Scott keeps texting me that, and I keep thinking it's a joke.
No, it's true. Trevor McGill came up with it, and it's just clicked.
Dig at you. Oh my goodness.
Oh man,
It's just clicked.
Really?
And I go on Kyle Kerm's show and they just give me shit for it. But I'm like, you know what? If your team had the power of friendship, he's a Mets fan, you might actually win some games. And then he gets so mad at me. It's very stupid, but the boys rally.
I mean, look, I will admit some of this is making me like you guys a little bit. This is also, by the way, as we talked to tie everything to a callback joke, they figured out Quintana. I don't know what they did. I
figure out everybody.
I'm very happy watching. Look, I'm happy watching you guys peak in August. All right.
We've been peaking for 4 months.
3.
Kemba Walker, step back, Walker, cardiac Kemba does it again.
Ubilis, 7 seconds to go. 3-pointer. Oh! Hutchins! Double order.
Again, comes down to fundamentals. Oh! My goodness! Sorrentine hit that one from the parking lot.
Watford for the win!
Yes! Yes! Trip to the Sweet 16. Caney's got it. Rises up. The shot. And it's good! It's good! From the corner! And it's over! Gonzaga! The slipper still fits! Ha ha! College basketball!
Guys, what are you doing? What is this? What is this?
This isn't a glitch. This isn't a glitch at all. This ain't a glitch. This is a takeover. A takeover.
All right. What we have? What we have? The pump fake. This is something we've been taken over by the pump fake pod. You guys, yeah. Of course, we bring in one of your boys, and then you NWO our freaking show. What? you got a little bit of floor, and then get the hell out of our locker room.
Absolutely. I'm here. I'm not here to grandstand your show or anything. I'm here to maybe find out who the third man is, because I know I got my other man in the booth or somewhere over here, Trevor. Yeah, there you are.
There you go.
We can find that. But yeah, for those that don't know, we're the Pump Fake Pod. We talk college basketball as baseball starts to wind down, football begins to cook up. Guess what's just right there in the back seat of the car, baby? But it's still going forward because time doesn't end there. College basketball's back, and we're the show to watch, and the premiere is returning because we got a lot to talk about. Transfer portals, preseason previews. We are doing a return show next Wednesday. My co-host and I, Stooley picks, and maybe a third man, as we know, Elliot and myself, going to be talking next Wednesday, August 20th, return show to discuss all off-season movements and then also lay out our schedule for conference preseason previews as well. Because come Labor Day, we're going to be back running a full gambit. A schedule is full return. And we're the best show. You know, we're everyone wants to watch us. We're here to we're not just some marks here. We're here to be the guys because we're not just a guys. All right. You know, I appreciate you guys letting us on here while you guys talk some baseball.
Letting you.
So I'm here to take over here for basketball. August 20th, Pump Fake Pod returns next Wednesday.
This is like the virtual version. Yeah, he like basically just ran into the crowd and just bounced. All right. Trevor, you had your backup.
Yeah. Hey, it's true. We're back. I'm excited. Best season.
You guys have a great show. You guys are on like 5 and 6 times a week. It's great. Shout out to at Pump Fake Pod.
Way better intro than ours. By the
way
way.
better intro.
I'm for
I was so amped.
I'm like, Jesus, I need to go just watch some like a 10-minute clip of Gus Johnson calls.
I know, it was awesome. Except for that Syracuse loss. It was great. It was
my bad. Yeah.
No, that's all right. I remember exactly where I was when I watched that game. That was awesome. And to Hopper's point, somehow not sued for that intro is amazing.
Yeah, true. Still get monetized and hasn't been shut down. So
it was great. That was good. All right. So I guess my last question for you about the Brewers, and then CJ will do another one, is okay, so you are wandering into this stream. You just watched a bunch of middle-aged adults and children reenact 2000 wrestling, as Benedict Dantle pointed out. And you're like, oh, this Brewers team, I've been hearing about them. What's the one bet you can make on the Brewers right now that you could walk away with? Knowing that they are the hottest team in the league, what is it?
right now, I've already put my wager. Well, I don't even know what is them to make the NLCS or win the CS, because the way it's shaping up, they're gonna skip the wild card. So everybody's jokes about wild card exit, first round exit. Guess what? You can't lose in the first round if you're not even in the first round. So throw that out the window. Leagues.
Don't know about that yet, Trevor. I'd hold the phone there with the Phillies and the Dodgers, but continue.
Well, first or second seed will be fine. If we spiral to where we're playing in the wild card, I've already blown up on Twitter multiple times, and I am not fun.
The Trevor meltdowns that generally happen.
Yes.
So,
yes. I mean, they're plus 145 to reach the NLCS, plus 425 to win. I don't know. I mean, I would probably. I'm assuming they're going to be dogs for some of that because we get no respect. I guarantee it's going to be a nice price on the Brewers tomorrow versus Skeens, but I would maybe just throw a little bit of money on them to win, plus 425. I'm sure you could shop around, but I've got them 7-1 and 4-1 to win the Central. They're now minus 500. I bet them 9-1 to win the NL. So these markets have kind of tanked a little bit. I got them a while ago, but if I had to right now, it would probably just be them to win the NL. I'm assuming they're not going to get incredible plus money in those, but you could just bet them to make it, then bet them dogs every single time, and kind of just nightingale it a little bit to winning the NL CS during that series. But 425, I don't hate it, but it's definitely not like a sexy price considering you're buying at like the ultimate peak right now.
You know what's not sexy? The minus 150 that I laid on the Cubs for 2 units back in June when I said that the
I tried
NL
telling
Central
everybody.
Was over.
I tried telling everybody. I'm like, this
sexy.
is the Brewers division. It has been for the last 5 years. Trust me, I know firsthand. Craig Counsell is a choke artist. Not to mention the Cubs are choke artists. So you marry them together, it's just bad vibes at all times. Look at what we got. They're putting out on the field right now.
If you really hate yourself, Adam, then the bet to make is Guardians Brewers as the
that's we're talking NWO.
200
to
1 right now. In the mirror. You can get that at 200 to 1.
Team.
I did when the Tigers started spiraling, I did put a little bit of money on Guardians 25 to 1 for the division. So I'm hoping that the Tigers just keep spiraling a little bit more and the Guardians keep playing hot. But
this is Adam.
That's gonna.
So
this is too triggering. I don't even want. We're gonna. That's a great way to end this. Trevor, tell everybody where they can find you and the time, and remind everybody about this takeover that we orchestrated.
Yeah. Well, appreciate you fellas. It's always fun hopping on talking.
No, this is good. You're smiling. You weren't smiling on episode 1 because the Brewers started off slow, and now you're like, "Hey, what's up?"
Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah, when we played the Yankees with their cork torpedo bats and all that.
Yeah. You were so upset.
No, but hey, we got healthy since May 15th. Best team in baseball. But no, you can follow the Pump Fake Pod on Twitter at Pump Fake Pod, on YouTube at the same thing. Also, we'll be going live there August 20th, probably 9 Central. I'm guessing. Stay tuned. We'll figure out an actual time, but we're just going to go over conferences and whatnot and get ready for the season because we're less than 3 months away. I'm amped. Like we're getting damn close. And you can follow me at StoolyPicks on Twitter. If you hate the Brewers and they start spiraling, it'll be the account to follow because I will.
Noted handicrafts user, by the way.
Yes,
I just want to point that out. Yes, he will tweet about some stuff that he's seeing on handicrafts as well.
Course.
So also appreciate that.
Yeah, we love you, Trevor.
Use handicrafts. It's great. It's amazing. It gets better every day compared to when it started. It was still great. Now it's just incredibly easy. They're updating and making it a lot easier, and it's incredibly smooth. No need to stare at fan graphs and those rinky-dink tiny numbers with 1,800 filters to get what you need.
That's all, CJ. Thanks a lot, Trevor.
Shout out, CJ. Thank you, fellas.
That was
well. In the words of Scott Hall, Adam, you started it. We're gonna finish it.
Oh, it's just great because one of the reasons why Huffer and I are so close is because he basically, besides the fact that I'm 80% sure he's my son, he has all these he knows every 90s wrestling reference. He can go back. He can do the entire Steiner math. He'll text it to me. He'll just do whatever it is. He just knows all of it. It's great. This was great. This is a very, very good episode. We obviously had different technical difficulties in this episode than we did in the last one. Dad moves. I will kick off on dad moves. This one is so we've been talking a lot about vacations and doing things. A real smooth move when you come back from vacation is within your first week of doing that is to this sounds like such a millennial thing to say, but whatever, Gen Z thing to say, but book your next one the first week that you get back, or block it off on the calendar. It is a very nice way to continue to reward yourself and your family. We got back from the Cape and we have already booked our things for the end of September. My wife does not know I will be at a Fish concert for the entire weekend before that, but whatever, it's going to be great. There she comes Dean. Was there Cubs talk? There was a little bit of Cubs talk. And, but yeah, book your vacation right when you get back from your new one, pick it out. Everybody loves you, gives you a goal. That's my dad move. CJ?
I mean, I 100%, my wife will love that one, Adam, because as soon as we get back from a vacation, the first question she's asking is, well, what are we doing? Like, what's next? Like, it's like a puppy without an owner. Like, we need to have something in the calendar to plan and look forward to. So, fully support that one. Mine is Band-Aids. You can never have enough Band-Aids in the house. They are the first aid sticker for kids. My daughter, every time she gets a mosquito bite, Band-Aid. She wanted the Frozen specific Band-Aids this week. There was an Elsa one. There was an Anna one. She's like, you know what? They're not on the same one. Give me two of them. So you can never have enough Band-Aids. Yep. If you get any sort of boo-boo, don't even fight them on it. They're gonna ask for one. Just give them it, because it's basically like a cool sticker.
It is.
So
you're in prime Band-Aid sticker phase too. Like that when Nora was like between 2.5 and basically like last week, she just did all her things where it was just she's like, I fell, and I'm like, do you need a Band-Aid? She's like, yeah, I need 2. And it's just like, yeah, all right. So
I agree. Band-Aids, they immediately make your kids shut up.
Yeah,
it's just like saying, all right, do you want a pouch? Except you don't even have to give them something sweet. It's like, all right, cool. Just give them a Band-Aid.
I agree. All right. This is our only show that we're doing this week. I'm going to bring my recording stuff to Vig. I'll be at Bet Bash this week. If you're watching this and you're like into Bet Bash or whatever, I guess text me. You probably know me already, but if not, just message me. I will be there. I'll have a laptop so I can be a nerd and show you handigraphs and take credit for everything that CJ built. I don't actually do that. No, those who are listening, I do not actually do that. But I will be there this week. So we might do a show late at night. We might not, probably not. So we wanted to have a really good one this week. We will be back the following week. We're going to try to get Javon to come on. We're going to talk about the ramifications of some of these prospects that were traded as we're getting towards September call up. It's a really good time to bring him back on. Kyle Bennett from Philly Underground is super down to come on and talk to him. We got a bunch that are coming up, and we're just kind of, in 2 weeks, we're going to be at the final month of the season. All these things that we've been talking about for the last year. And, but my biggest thing is, good episode. Thank you, Pump Fake Pod. Thank you, thank you, Spencer, for putting together an epic produced episode. He coordinated a lot of really cool stuff on this.
Back to back for Spencer. Shout out there.
Back to back for Spencer. Yeah.
The last episode where Spencer was burning the oil to be able to get that one out for you guys and in a good format. So
it was great.
Then we came right around and we're like, hey, Spencer, we appreciate you. Also,
right away.
Had an idea for this next podcast, so shout out to Spencer. We love you.
Spencer's at Spencer_Ray RAY. He's also available for all production needs. He's awesome. For CJ at Dad's That Bet. A reminder at Dad's Bet Baseball on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram. We have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Dad's Bet Baseball. Like us, subscribe to us. Whatever you can do to support. We've gotten a ton of momentum. We were told by multiple sponsors that we got just a ton of momentum and a ton of new people that keep coming every episode in July. We had a monster July because of you guys and, breaking kayfabe here, but you guys are awesome for coming and listening and watching us do this. So thank you. And CJ, what's the final word on this episode?
NWO for life.